Far and away, the most common question we got was about boosters for the vaccine. What's the current status of research and whether and when vaccinated individuals should get a booster or another round of those shots?
Well, right now, there is no recommendation to get a booster. However, there are studies being conducted to evaluate whether that would be needed. There's three different situations that one would consider. The first would be someone who has a weakened immune system and whether they would benefit from, say, a third dose of Pfizer or Moderna or a second dose of Janssen. The other one would be uh, whether we're having waning immunity after being fully vaccinated and we need another dose to boost that up. And right now, so far, the vaccines immunity seem to be holding pretty well. And then the third one would be whether we have circulation of a variant of the SARS-CoV-2 virus that the vaccines are less protective against. And that could happen. Right now, it looks like even with the Delta variant, there's good protection from the vaccines, but all of that work is still ongoing. There are studies to look at whether the boosters would be safe, would they be, or whether they would be effective, and then in what combinations do you get a booster with the same vaccine you got, or do you get a different vaccine for a booster? So all of that is ongoing. So we do not have an answer yet or a recommendation for boosters.
In a similar vein, we got a lot of questions from cancer patients, or I remember one individual that said she had rheumatoid arthritis who are on immunosuppressants, wondering if there's a way to test an individual for antibodies to essentially determine if the vaccine took. Should that be a concern? Is there anything that people can do that fall into one of those categories?
Well, at this point in time, we do not know what level of antibodies people need to be protected. So even if a person got an antibody test, we don't know yet what it tells them. Of course, there are various kinds of antibody tests. Some of them test for antibodies to the spike protein that the vaccines stimulate that may be helpful in the future. But people should also be aware that there are antibody tests that test for antibodies to the nucleocapsid protein, which the vaccine does not stimulate. So if they get the wrong kind of test, it may confuse the situation. Right now, the CDC does not recommend using antibody tests to assess for immunity because we don't know yet what level of antibodies people need to have in order to be protected.